We are almost there, and now comes the fun part. If you are slightly confused, this is the final installment of a 3-video series where you are doing a data visualization project with me. Go check out the previous 2 videos if you haven't seen them yet. Hi, this is Chartbites. My name is Salome and I'm here to walk you through the process of designing a visualization so you can understand one of the many ways in which to visualize data. In the first video, I got the idea to visualize the potential sustainability of my wardrobe. As we've seen by analyzing the data, well, I have a lot of work ahead of me. In the second video, we talked about the structure of a visualization from outlining the story to rough sketching. In today's video, we'll start prototyping and designing the final visualization. Then, we'll test it and make any corrections or alterations needed. After sketching, I have a sense of what I'm going to do, I know what metrics and variables I'm focusing on, and I know I want to use circular shapes to display my data. So I'm ready to start prototyping. In this phase, my favorite tool is RawGraphs. This is an online platform developed by the Density Design Research Lab from Politecnico di Milano that transforms spreadsheets into usable vector graphics. As I'm doing a poster, this is the perfect solution for it. RawGraphs is also great to practice visualization. They have a collection of datasets and types of charts that you can experiment with. The website is also very user-friendly. If you don't know it, give it a try. I'm a big fan. So first, we introduce our dataset. If there are any mistakes, this will say so, but there aren't. Then we'll choose our chart type. As I've said, I'm very inspired by Hilma af Klein's paintings, so I'm going for circular shapes. I have sketched a bee swarm plot in the previous video, so I'll go with it. And then we'll have to select the variables to display. Here I'll go for where, love, and color. I like to use labels to identify specific design attributes that I might add later. For example, I want to highlight how I got the item, adding acquisition as a label. I also want to know what pieces I altered and how many of them are vintage. I know, this looks a mess. But this way I will be able to see all the information I need from each of the bubbles. Now we can export this. I'll get my SVG file and I'll name this I still have too many clothes. Now I will work on this chart in Illustrated and try to add it more to my style. First, I must think about what spectrum of colors I want and how I want to identify the variables in the labels. I'm thinking of small letters and pictograms, so it's quicker to grasp. I hate this. It's not really working for me. It is starting to look very confusing and I think it has too much information. I also think there isn't enough of difference between the size of each bubble. Let's rethink this and go back to RawGraphs to make a few changes in the original chart. Thinking about it, I don't believe it is essential to highlight the garment's type or age because those variables are not critical to my main story. I have to remember that I'm trying to express how I'm buying fewer clothes and how much I wear the clothes I own. So it's much more important to know how many clothes were hand-me-downs or made and how many of them I have altered. This is shaping up. Since I have this empty space, I will do a secondary chart to track my progress since I made changes in my wardrobe as I decided in the last video. So let's go back to raw graphs and design a new chart. This one has to focus on when I got my clothes and if there's a difference since 2019. Of course, I haven't kept all the clothes I got before 2018 and 17, but this is just to see if I'm adding fewer clothes to my wardrobe. This one is a bit trickier because my primary variable is a string. This means that the data is in text. Well, most charts that track time and date don't calculate text. Because of that, raw graphs can do this chart for me. I will have to do it by hand on Illustrator. So I will download it as a circle packing chart and do the rest myself. Sometimes this happens. The tool you choose to work with doesn't allow you to do exactly what you wanted. And then you have two choices. You can either find a way to do it yourself, like what I'm doing here, or you can change course and try another solution. This decision depends on how complicated your problem is and how you like to work. Now that I have my two charts, it is time for the finishing touches. I need to arrange the composition, adjust the colors, and add key and titles. If you have external sources, don't forget to cite them. And now to the printer. It's time to see how these colors turn out on paper and if everything is readable. Here it is. I love it. But I can already see there's a few mistakes. First, the colors are a bit too light. There is not enough contrast between the background and the white lines. I also don't love the key. And I forgot to explain the size of the bubbles, so let's make these changes and print again. I'm super proud of how this poster turned out. And I think it served its purpose well. Let's see if it can help me make better wardrobe decisions from now on. Now that our main visualization is complete, we can enter the last step in the design process. Sometimes It's necessary to translate a chart or infographic to another medium, especially in news outlets, and so we'll do just that. Because I want to be held accountable for my choices, I thought about transforming this poster into something to post on my Instagram, so my friends can see it and help me fight the urge to buy new clothes. When it comes to visualization on social media, I always like to see a bit of the process to check out how other people work. And since that's my purpose with this video series, I'll do just that as well. I always like to use InShot on my iPad to edit short videos because it's very user-friendly and has many features. Let's start with a simple premise. So, I counted all my clothes. Now let us post it on my Instagram to see what people think. And this is it. We have come to the end of the visualization design process. As I've been saying, feel free to share your projects and questions in the comments or via email. I hope these videos helped you see visualization as a fun and exciting series of tasks instead of a daunting and complicated odyssey. Of course, this was a simple visualization, and it's important to note that more complex projects usually involve groups of people who play different roles. Also, remember that design processes change from person to person and from project to project. Just don't forget the importance of posing pertinent questions, being curious about the data, crafting an impactful story, and sketching your ideas before jumping to the computer. As usual, it would make me extremely happy if you could answer the questionnaire in the description. I will be back with more tips and tricks on data visualization. This is Chartbites. See you next time. I know. Thinking about it, and time for the finishing touches. Everything.